Okay, so it's crack-a-lackin', everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Um, for me, it's, what is it, Thursday? For you guys, it'll probably be Friday or Saturday. I'm a tad tired, sorry, ironically. There's the reason why I'm tired. Literally, I think I went to bed up was 2, 3, and then I had to wake up at 7, 8. Just, it's not terrible, I mean, but it was just for work. Because yeah, sometimes this is where laziness gets you. I get caught in it sometimes, and I think other people do too. Is where you just put something off because you know it's easy. And for me, if I know something's easy, I always go, like I push back the time because I'm like, I'll just bite the bullet, and then you always end up never biting the full bullet. So the whole thing of you'll do it later and I'll be fast turns into you do it absolutely later and it's not fast anymore, and it kind of, yeah, so you suffer a bit more. So yeah, I spent the whole night doing stats and watching rugby matches because that's what we do sports TVs and that. So yeah, I enjoy it. That's the one thing. But yeah, when I get lazy like that, then sometimes you just bite the bullet. It wasn't bad. By all means, I'm not complaining. I actually found it really fun. It was just chow. I made myself a big iced coffee and just sipped to that. And like I said, it's not the worst amount of luck, sleep deprivation, but it's just enough to throw you off. I still have about 2, 3 games to go, so they'll be fun. But yeah. So yesterday was. I'm trying to remember exactly what we said yesterday, but it's not something I can remember off the top of my head. So, we spoke about Noah. I'm not Noah Moses. No, Noah. So, just being a good disciple, being someone who can listen to God and act on it instead of listen and question and do your own thing. And yeah, also the fact that maybe our punishment is inevitable. I think the way we behave in today's time is way worse than what they would have done there. Although I can't imagine what they've done there. So yeah. So without further ado, Genesis 7. We're going verses 1 to 24. So I'm going to read. If you want to read, obviously read yourself. If you don't, then listen to my poor reading. So the flood covers the earth. When everything was ready, the Lord said to Noah, "Go into the boat with all your family, for among all the people of the earth, I can see that you alone are righteous. Take with you 7 pairs, male and female, of each animal I've approved for eating and sacrifice, and take 1 pair of each of the others. Also 7 pairs of every kind of bird. There must be a male and female in each pair to ensure that all life will survive on the earth after the flood. 7 days from now I will make the rains pour down onto the earth, and it will rain for 40 days and 40 nights, until I have wiped from the earth all living things I've created." So Noah did everything the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood covered the earth. He went on to board the boat to escape the flood. He and his wife and his sons and their wives with him were all various kinds of animals, those approved for eating and for sacrifice, and those that were not. Along with all the birds and the small animals that scurry along the ground, they entered the boat in pairs, male and female. Just as God commanded Noah, after 7 days the waters of the flood came and covered the earth. When Noah was 600 years old, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, all the underground waters erupted from the earth, and the rain fell in mighty torrents from the sky. The rain continued to fall for 40 days and 40 nights. That very day Noah had gone into the boat with his wife and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. With them in the boat were pairs of every kind of animal, domestic and wild, large and small, along with birds of every kind. 2 by 2 they came into the boat, representing every living thing that breathes. A male and female of each kind entered, just as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord closed the door behind them. For 40 days, the flood waters grew deeper, covering the ground, lifting the boats high above the earth. As the waters rose higher and higher above the ground, the boats floated safely on the surface. Finally, the water covered even the highest mountains of the earth, rising more than 22 feet above the highest peaks. All living things on earth died: birds, domestic animals, wild animals, small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the people. Everything that breathed and lived on dry land died. God wiped out every living thing on earth: people, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and the birds of the sky. All were destroyed. The only people who survived were Noah and those with him on the boat. Just to add there, the floodwaters covered for 150 days. That is a very long time. 150 days. So half a year, we call it. Just under. Yes. It's amazing how such things can be possible. I mean, also for me, I wonder fish and things like that. How did that work? I don't see animals in their own right as any sort of sinning creature. So it's kind of sad that they also have to go through what we caused, so to say. I mean, if you want to just relate it in today's time, because everyone is so dog person, imagine your dog being forced to drown because of the actions of other people. It's kind of sad, and I guess it's the best solution in terms of how everything goes. You kind of need, what's the right way to say? If you need to get rid of every person, you need to get rid of everything, kind of a thing. But at least Noah survived. His family survived, and we're all here today. Are we better? Is another topic. Are we? But at the end of the day, I've kind of liked the story. There's so many loose ends that could happen, and very much probably did happen, but there was no documentation. Just the scale of having carnivorous animals, having small animals. I know, some animals are clumsy. How did they not fall out the boat? Did they just sit in a stable essentially for 150 days? It's a long time to be essentially trapped in what we have called, what I would be like in this room. If I was trapped in 150 days, sounds like a Mr. Beast video, but then it's quite tough. Although the reward was life, so I think we're looking more at a Saw kind of thing than a Mr. Beast kind of a thing. Okay, so let's get into just some of the notes, and then we'll discuss our thoughts and feelings afterwards. So, pairs of every kind of animal joined Noah on the boat. 7 pairs were taken of those animals used for food and for sacrifice. The clean animals, it had been estimated that almost 45,000 animals could have fit in that boat. That is huge. That is, just in the scale of everything, like we just said. If 45,000 animals could fit in, I'm thinking of imagine how much space a zoo has. The boat wasn't bigger than a big zoo, and a zoo won't have near that. So animals had to be on top of each other to make this work. And how did it not result in loss of life, species, and all those things? Remember, there's only one of each. Take away one of the males or one of the females, and that species is done, Many have wondered how this animal kingdom roundup happened. Did Noah and his sons spend years collecting all the animals? In reality, the creation, just like Noah, was doing just as God commanded. That is interesting. So Noah didn't have to gather the animals. God took care of the details of that job, while Noah was sitting in his part, Noah was doing his part, building the boat. Often we do just the opposite of Noah. We worry about the details over which we have no control, while neglect specific areas. And that's, like I say, even with my business, I worry about so many things that I can't change the way some people want to approach things. I can't change the way some people think about things. I just do my parts. I can tell them what I can. At the end of the day, it comes down to you or them to do their part. And if they didn't do their part, maybe it wasn't meant to be. And I think a lot of the time we spend just trying to, like it says here, control the uncontrollable. And I know I have friends and family that like to do that. They sit and stress over all these little things that you cannot control. And all that does is it just deteriorates your state of mind, your mood, and everything like that. And it's such a tough thing to do, because I know I do it myself, where you just want to sit and go, it's fine. Like for me, what happens in my brain is I always just go, I'm processing what else could I do to maybe make this an easier choice for them. What else could I do to do this? What else could I do? Like for me, because my target for my business is always affordability, and sometimes I know the money that the people I work for have, and literally I'll sit and I'll go, I need to make this cheaper for them. I need to make this even cheaper for them. They don't have money. I need to do this. I need to do that. And at the end of the day, like, I end up losing money because of that. And it's one of those things where literally you sit and you're stressing about trying to give somebody something that maybe they don't actually need, and that money can go into other areas because you're trying to fix or trying to get something that just isn't meant to be. It's just same with people, same with work, same with meetings, same with reports. Although reports, you can come, if it's on you can do what you need to do, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just think, don't take a step back, maybe pray. And this is one of those things where you kind of have to leave it in God's hands. It's so easy to say that, but to do it is another thing. At the end of the day, do what you can do, and anything that's not in your control, just pray about it, man, and then move on, because it's all I can say. Concentrate on what God has given you to do and leave the rest to God. The very last thing God did was to shut the door. During construction, the boarding of animals, and the beginning of the rain, the path of salvation was open. This shows God's love and desire that you all would come to Him. Step through the door before God's time of welcome is up. Okay, so it's just looking at a metaphorical thing of going into the ark and being accepted, and then, I think the story, we went through a phase even in the last time I did all this, is because maybe these things I don't find very relevant to me at the time, but you sit and you read it and you'll find a different relevance for when you read it in another part of your life. And I think we just touched on it now. It's just, for me, the main message of this whole thing will just be that accepting what is in your control and what is not in your control. And I know I've said it a couple of times throughout this episode, but there's a lot of things that you can control, and there's a lot of things that God will give you to do, and those should be the things of your focus, not the things of other people and things that you cannot control. If God's told you to do X, Y, and Z, or you feel like that's been put on your heart, go out and do it, and whatever comes, don't think about the other stuff. It's always that first step that helps. I promise you, for me, when I do these kind of things, by step 2 or step 3, I start to either see some sort of fruit or see a reasoning as to why maybe I've started this. And then from there, it gives you a bit more motivation to push on. So even if you think something's absolutely stupid, and I know we shouldn't think like that when it comes to what we think we have on our heart, but like I say, attempt steps 1 and 2, maybe even 3, and I promise you, by the time you get to that 3rd step, you'll you'll kind of feel a reason for why you're either doing it. Maybe it's a lesson in doing it. Maybe it's something that you oversee whenever you do it. No, could be anything. And if you don't see it that way, maybe you start to see the fruits already of what you've been doing. So, yeah, I think I'm going to try and apply that a bit better in my life, and I'll keep you guys updated on doing it a bit more, because I do it every now and again. And like I said, there is always a reason behind something, and there's always a way you can kind of see why you've done it. But yeah, so one thing, and I said it before and I'll say it again, is that I always find it quite amazing how essentially people of God, or people in the Old Testament, were able to just do what they were told. Like, even now, I can't find many people that will just do what you ask them to without any question. And here in those times, they felt it, they heard it, and they did it. And I mean, I'd like to be a bit more like that. I'd expect maybe some of you would like to be more like that in your life. And yeah, and then I pray you do, man. Like, I think it's just it's such a good blessing to know when something's coming from God and when it's your calling. For me, I always felt like I know my calling, and what gets in the way of my calling, and I'll always say it, is probably my laziness and my ability to oversee certain tasks because I think they're too easy. And like I said in the beginning, they may very well be easy, but there's always something you oversee or something that messes around. There might be something just stops you or slows you down, and those are things you don't have time for when you leave it to the absolute last minute, and it sometimes costs you. So yeah, that will be me. And for me, my thing is always just I wanted to help people. If I can live my life in a sense of, like, I've helped a lot of people, or I've put people in positions that they wouldn't have got on their own, I feel like I've lived. Like, that's why I love, to a degree, I'll say it very loosely, I love teaching people. I'm a qualified teacher. I've qualified for grade 10s to 12s, which is your last 3 years of schooling. I think I relate a lot more to them, and I can meet them more on a personal level than the kids, which is ironic because then I also coach, and I coach the little ones. So I've actually coached every age group from under 7s to under 16s. But for the last 4 years, I've been like the 7s to the 11s kind of age group, and it's so fun learning from them. And yeah, it's very nice just to see, especially the younger ones. They have a lot of unconditional love, and although they can tell you straight about what they think, at the end of the day, they've got these good intentions, which I think we lose sight of. But yeah, so that's us for today. I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for engaging if you engage. If you guys want to, obviously leave a comment. If you think something I'm missing in this, I think, let me know. Maybe you perceive it in a way that I don't perceive it, and I want to learn that. Like, there's more than my perspective to everything. That's why I'm doing this, is that it's very nice to have pastors and things like that speak in a certain way and give you very focused guidance. For me, I'm coming at this from, I'm an average Joe that's just sharing how certain things apply in my life, how you can apply it in yours, what's worked for me, what isn't working for me. And yeah, like I always say, I'm not a registered pastor, so I would say just don't seek me for any of that specialized advice, so to say, or that special. But I'm always here to help at the end of the day.